can't remember what that rant was. What were we talking about?
I don't know. You didn't tell us.
Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 409. I am Jay. We got Mark and Bri today. How you guys doing?
All right.
We got Bri, special occasion. You go back for the whole summer?
You know, every time I randomly will hear part of like one of the songs that's in the intro clip, and I always think of the show. I don't know why. It's like whatever song, like one of those lines is dropping out. Like Brink, you know, right?
Yeah, I had my.
Something I was listening. There's something I was listening to the other day, and they played part of the Goodbye song.
Yeah.
Obviously not like just like one. I was like, oh my god, they listen to Brink. Oh no, get the clip from here. Never mind.
Yeah, I had my music on shuffle, and the Van Halen song came on, and I thought somehow I like turned on my podcast app by mistake.
So what's
Bri,
up,
how
guys?
you been?
It's been a while since I've been on, right? Does someone know when the last time I was on?
I am sure one of our podcast historians would know, but I don't, it seems like a long time. I don't know.
For those watching the video, Bri is now wearing glasses because he's part of Mensa.
No, he's part of AARP is what he's part of.
Paul's asking
both.
about the Knicks.
Yeah.
We will be doing the Knicks podcast after this podcast, so we will talk about that. Stay tuned.
We'll do
Without
the
me,
Knicks
so.
closer to the time of the actual draft.
Yeah.
Which is coming a little bit later.
It's like all Knicks comments right now. We
You
will
know
be
what I
doing a
was
Knicks
saying?
podcast in an hour.
Anything else? We promise we'll be doing Knicks in a little bit. I have a question for you guys. I want to ask you guys. I want to present to you two morons and have you guys pick who the bigger moron is.
All right.
Well, there's three of us, so which one isn't a moron?
Well, we're all morons. We're just wondering
Okay.
who, or I guess which is the bigger moron, or which would you rather interview on the show about their moronness?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the first one, and I found him. He was described as, God damn it, internet.
He's an 80-year-old president.
Which one?
Yeah, they're both 80-year-old.
Well, a current one, and then there's a 78-year-old former future president.
Former future president.
Are you going to read your thing, Mark?
I was going to. My internet's not like being slow because
Because you didn't
Well,
have
we
it
know
up.
who one of the morons is.
Yeah.
I am the moron. You guys just vote for me as being the moron.
All right, we could go right to the next
was easy.
segment. Yeah.
No. Let me find this thing.
You got to
God
make these
damn it.
games a little harder, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm always the bigger moron.
Jeez, like we're the Celtics here. We're just rolling through these games.
Yeah, no, of course.
Should I get you an email while you start your dial-up modem again?
I don't know why. It's
Lorenzo
okay.
writes.
Okay, I found it. I found
Okay.
it.
Your total phone's ringing. You get kicked
Okay.
off.
The first one, I found this one on Reddit, and the caption for this one is "Meet the final boss of LinkedIn lunatics."
Okay.
And motherfucking computer, I don't know why it's being so slow. Okay, I got it. Here, this is I'm gonna read this guy. This guy's name is Eric. He's listed as a venture capitalist, executive
Anybody want to watch
producer,
me take a phone call?
management consultant, business bro, it looks like. Anyway, here was Eric's post on LinkedIn. And for those, you guys are on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
LinkedIn's still a thing.
It's still a thing. Still a thing. It's where people who have jobs annoy other people that have jobs. Anyway,
I thought that was called The Office.
that's the office too. But if you want to do it virtually and annoy a much broader section of people, here's the post. I will never let people get away with accusing me of something I didn't do. So today, I'm going to rock your world. There's a rumor going around the Bay Area that I am a stalker. First of all, I have never heard anything more preposterous. Last year, I was absent for 12 months straight. I don't approach, abstinent. I don't approach women. My car broke down in front of a grocery store and I decided to live out of it for several weeks. Don't ask why. I just felt defeated, so I took it in stride. The grocery store happened to employ a woman who had approached me and we exchanged numbers. Somehow, an employee in this
Quite a bit.
grocery store decided that my presence must have been something to do with my infatuation towards this person. To be quite frank, she was not my type, and I am not interested in making any new female friends while I was in transition. So let's be very, very clear. I have never in my life stalked another human being. I'm not sure if you've ever seen me in real life, but the idea that I would care about pursuing someone who doesn't want me is laughable. I'm extremely confident to the point of conceit. I think so highly of myself that the very idea of stalking someone sounds like a joke to me. I'm accustomed to women being obsessed with me, not the other way around. I'm a good man, and today I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm fucking brilliant. I am undeniably handsome. I am unusually well endowed.
How much longer
I'm
is
almost
this?
40 and look 20. I
Are
take
we the morons for listening to this?
take exceptional care of myself. I don't do drugs. I hardly drink, and I work constantly. I am, in fact, a bachelor. I've never been married, and I don't have any kids. I'm hoping to find a quiet Asian girl or a nice Jewish woman.
Why are you following Andrew Tate on LinkedIn?
I don't know. This it came up on Reddit. There's a Reddit sub called LinkedIn Lunatics. And this guy on LinkedIn, the idea basically is
I didn't think it was Jay until the end, but now I think it might be Jay.
the idea is that you're trying to look for jobs or
Yeah,
promote
yeah.
things about your career so you can get jobs in the future or network. And this guy, I guess unprompted, posted this diatribe where no one asked, but he wanted to tell everyone he's not a stalker.
It
He's well
sounds-
endowed and was homeless for a little while.
It sounds kind of like that guy that killed those college kids.
He does sound like kind of like a murderer, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No better way to tell people you're a stalker by denying it randomly without
Right,
anyone
yeah.
asking.
I'm not a stalker, no. I
I was
just
just
keep seeing
gonna
you
say.
everywhere.
And by the way, I lived out of my car, just letting you know, but I'm a venture capitalist, executive producer, management consultant, and potentially was homeless.
Is your other one, can you read that one in less than 10 minutes?
Jay, you seem to have no patience, Jay.
That was a very long.
That was long, but I felt like it was kind of a ridiculous thing someone posted on
It was. I think you could have edited that a little bit.
well, I mean, maybe other shows
Well, we
had
could
it.
have just skipped the whole thing.
Yeah. So
The second one.
the comment in the
I'll do
chat
it.
for that story was, "Sorry, this sucks. I'm leaving."
Fine. The other one, there was a teacher who held a mock slave auction and used a racial slur placed on leave.
Okay. See, that was nice and short. I like that.
That was short. That was much shorter, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, doing that could get you a promotion.
Do you think it's a bad idea to have a slave auction
Well, I mean,
at school?
Probably
they knew
not
were
the
used.
best. I have another one to throw in here. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna do three more with me being the winner.
Yeah. So this one I'm gonna edit because this one is long, and I will just read the cliff notes. I think leftists are evil. Period. Evil. They are subhuman trash that has no place in general society. I will not go along to get along with these people. Don't make peace with evil. Destroy it. Blah blah blah. On and on and on and on. This
I think
person.
I've read that one.
This person got arrested for having sex with her dog, and the way she got caught is because the video
Oh yeah, I saw this.
was on her husband's phone, who got arrested for pedophilia. So, but leftists are the bad people.
Cool.
I mean, if you asked that girl what a leftist is, she couldn't even answer it. I mean, they use these buzzwords like leftist, communist, Marxist. Like they don't. There's buzzwords. They don't even know what they mean.
They use these buzzwords like bestiality, animal cruelty. The animal
Well, I mean-
wanted it. Look, what was the
well,
animal wearing? The animal was naked.
Those aren't buzzwords. Those are hobbies. There's a difference.
Yeah, they just throw out things like this. This is a way of life. I mean, I love Man's Best Friend more than most.
Okay, moving on. Did we
Jay,
vote?
how much would you have to be paid if everyone you met, everyone you spoke to the rest of the year, you had to start the conversation by going, "I'm not into bestiality. Just want to let you know."
Yeah, I don't think I would be able to get paid that much.
Bri, what if just like something like anyone you spoke to, you just go like, "Hey, I'm not a rapist." Anyway,
Stay safe. Don't rape.
you're like, listen, like, what's wrong with me saying it's not a date? Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not a rapist. Like, it's not like I am one.
The Chad Daniels bit. Stay safe. Don't rape.
So our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, hey guys, back at the start of episode 303, Jay started a bit where he would name a famous trending worldwide event that millions have heard about, but Mark had no idea. The
Why
example,
did you rock this bit, Jay?
The example given was the Kiki dance as part of that Drake video, but alas, Mark was aware of it. Do you have any new ones today from Mark?
You have anything for me, Jay?
Have you heard of Hawk Tuah?
Yes, I have not missed Hawk Tuah.
You have not missed? I am surprised you actually heard of that.
Well, because I've seen like
I keep
half
seeing
my
it, but I don't know what it is.
Half my TikTok feed is now Hawk Tuah.
Yeah.
It's basically this girl.
Do I want to?
Do you want to play it, Jay? Do you have it queued up?
No, everyone's seen it.
Just tell me what it is.
Mark, you just started.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna tell. It's just this girl who's being. Why would you have it queued up, Jay? We're not really a professional show here.
No,
we're not.
No.
Where have you been?
Are you surprised?
Yeah.
You didn't even have your 45-minute description of Andrew Tate's queued up. You expect me to have a video?
I thought that was funny. Whatever. It's some girl being interviewed. She's on like vacation, and she's asked about like She's asked about a couple different things, and one of them things is and does she have any special moves she does with guys? And she says you got to Hawk Tuah when you're going down on them.
Yeah, that's it.
Hawk Tuah. That's basically it, right?
Oh, like spit?
Yeah.
Spit a guy's junk before blowing.
Why do people like that?
I don't know. According to her, it's a thing.
That's what that is. Well, thank God I haven't clicked on it. Excuse me.
And Jay was like, "Yeah, that's what I do."
So, yeah, apparently that was like the craziest thing that's happened So Sunday night, the U.S. Drone striked a civilian beach in Russia.
Did we? No.
Well, U.S. drones. Maybe Ukraine did it. It was U.S. drones that. Anyway.
The U.S. did not like. By the way, last week, so Brian, I don't know if you listened to last week's episode. Jay goes, "Hey, this is a crazy story. There was a guy in Texas who kidnapped 75 people and anally raped them or anally probed them." And I was like, "Jay, you think this really happened?" He's like, "Yeah, look, fakenews.com says it happened."
So anyway, my point is that World War III was trending with 16,000 tweets, but Hawk Tuah was also trending with 102,000 tweets.
It was the way she does it, and that's why you should have played the clip, is like she's so confident with it and she just does it like matter of fact. So I see why people found it funny. It's funny. It's pretty funny.
It's funny.
It's just like a drunk girl, like a Girls Gone Wild drunk girl.
Yeah,
like
it was like one of those like interview in the streets, like let's interview drunk people walking down the street.
Oh yeah.
The
All right.
way she's so open about it was just very funny, and I can see why, like in our world of like shit trends, like that's definitely something you'd be like, that's funny, or you'd show someone else.
Well, she lost her job.
I'm sure she'll make a lot of money from Hawk Tuahing. Like she'll probably have all these opportunities. Apparently, she was wearing. There's only been one. I think there's only been like one other video of her since, and she's wearing like Hawk Tuah merchandise.
Yes, she's like autographing and selling like Hawk Tuah 2024 shirts and hats.
Is it like the Edmonton Oilers, the Flasher girl? She's like super famous now too.
Oh, the hockey one.
Oh,
the hockey one, yeah.
Yeah.
The Hawk Tuah girl was a preschool teacher, so I'm pretty sure if she sells 3 hats, she'll earn her yearly salary.
True.
Yeah, I think she's fine. I bet if she goes, "Hey, Hawk Tuah is going to make an OnlyFans account," I bet she'd be a billionaire tomorrow.
She could probably just.
Everyone else has one.
I mean, she could probably sue the school.
She's attractive. She's not like hot, but she's attractive. She's 100% like she'd make a killing if she decided to do that.
Yeah, millions. She could be retired.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Oh, you're working really hard." I did a Hawk Tuah thing on a video. Did an OnlyFans for an hour, and now my kids never have to work again.
Right, I have generational.
Welcome to 2024.
Yep.
2024 in a nutshell.
Oh, but by the way, so the U.S. invaded Russia and World War III happened, Jay? Or where do you get your news?
Twitter, where everybody else gets.
It's not going to be from InfoWars. It's getting shut down.
That is true.
Is it getting shut down? I saw something that it may not be shut down.
Well, they're trying to shut it down to get all the money from it.
Well, they were saying that they might let it live on because he'd have a great chance of repaying everything if they keep making money.
By keeping his bullshit going?
Yes, basically, which is like now he needs to do this to pay a debt, so we have to let him do this bullshit. This is even dumber.
they should let him do that, but like there should just be a scroll through like the middle of the screen on a show that's just saying everything he's saying is bullshit. Just continuous loop.
I don't think that would matter with his fans. If you're already watching that and you're buying in, like there's nothing else that will convince you otherwise. He's
Probably.
selling you he's telling you that you need to buy gold and like pack and like prepare for the end of the world and like buy dumb vitamins and you're like there's nothing that's going to convince you otherwise.
I don't know how he's still alive. He looks so unhealthy.
And every show he screams so much you'd think he'd have a heart attack.
Yeah.
I wonder if you you ever see the behind the music for Meatloaf?
No.
Maybe if I did, it
It's
was
kind
20
of
years ago.
it's kind of like one of the greatest behind the musics ever. But they Meatloaf was so into his shows, he was like he gave all his energy. He had to take oxygen after the show. I wonder if like Alex Jones has to take oxygen after the show.
Probably.
Also a hefty man, so like who
Yeah.
screams.
Yeah.
So Brian, what's going on in your town?
Well, it's not my town anymore. I don't live there anymore, but
Okay,
there was that.
Get us up to speed, Brian. What's going on in your life?
There was an incident about a month ago where a state trooper got hit by a car and the world stopped. I don't have the energy for the rant anymore because I've already
You don't have the
ranted.
energy to tell the story. I found the story when Brian was telling it
But I know this. So
offline.
this cop was this a state trooper. The state trooper pulls over a guy on the highway for not wearing a seatbelt, and he got clipped by like a homeless guy from like Jamaica who was like high on like PCP in a stolen car. Like every bad thing imaginable about this guy just blew through and just blasted right through him while he was on the side of the road. And they shut the highway down because like every cop in the state had to come look at him. I don't know what they had to do. Did they maybe pick pieces of him off the ground or something? I don't know. Then they had like a 3 day like his funeral was in Hartford, which was like 25 miles away. So they
Jay,
shut down the
I don't know why you
highways.
think this would be funny for the show. Go on.
What? Well, it's going overboard. They shut the whole goddamn state. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't named the state after the guy. They
Jay's
started
like
a GoFundMe page.
a cop
They got
died.
a
We're gonna have
GoFundMe
Brian
page
talk
for
about
this
the
guy. This
show.
guy's gonna
Great.
get a pension, a death benefit, workers' comp benefits, probably a union thing. They got a GoFundMe page that's raised $500,000. Every fucking restaurant in town is like, "Oh, come over tonight," and all the proceeds are gonna go to his family. Like, why can't his wife get a fucking job? So there's some charity that's already paid off his mortgage. There's some no, it's one of those 9/11 ones. So they've already paid off his mortgage already. That asshole Dave Portnoy is selling shirts. All that money's going to that. It's like, and meanwhile, another state trooper died, a black guy, so nobody cares. They didn't even. They made an announcement on the road. They're like, he's being transported to the airport. There might be a traffic jam. That was
Jay,
it.
you didn't see this comedy gold coming? Come on.
I didn't know he was going to throw out the "why can't his wife get a job" line.
What?
Well, I
Why
mean-
get a job?
I mean, she doesn't have to get a job now, but I mean, she got the rest of her life. She's got to move on. I mean, unless she's going to bang one of these other troopers and get, hitch one of them. I know they all kind of stick together, but I mean,
Yes, I know. I instead of raising all the money, can't she fucking get a job? I mean, come on, bang another cop. Come on, man. Move on with your life. Right,
I
you
mean,
should get your
and
own
then
show.
so then meanwhile, like 2 days later, in like 3 towns over, like there was a construction accident. Like there was a construction worker who was doing like, with the stop and the go sign or whatever. Somebody blasted through and shot him up into the air, and he died. No, nothing. Like, give some of that money to that guy. That guy needs the money because he's a construction worker. Probably, he was like 25. He's not getting a state pension and all this other shit. That's the guy that needs the money. The cop's family doesn't need the money. They got enough stuff coming in.
Do they get the state pension if the guy's dead? They
No
still get all
problem.
that
Well, right now there's some red tape and they can't get it, which is good. And the other good thing, the other good thing is there's this one town that one of my friends from work lives in, and I don't know the whole story, but the town council voted about flying the stupid police flag at the town hall, and they voted
Yeah.
against it. So they're the only town in Connecticut that's not flying the support the blue, back the blue flag. So,
Why?
so
Why
that's
won't
nice.
they fly it?
I didn't hear the reason why. I think maybe because I was on the town council. I'm not sure.
Oh my God! I don't you wish Brian could just be like the I don't know what job you'd have where you can deny people in these situations, but it'd be so amazing.
Bro, just like, no, that's stupid. Get a job.
Like he could have his own like Maury Povich type or like Oprah show where you come on and Bry should be the new Dr. Phil.
I mean, you should have heard like in the southern in the Facebook group for the town. Like you should have heard these idiots talking about like what they wanted to do like the day of the funeral. They should like, oh, they should line the street, every street from his house to the funeral home. Everyone should be out like it's the Macy's parade. Everyone should be on the side of the road waving flags at the guy as he drives by. And anybody who's in this group who went to high school with him should be posting all these good stories about it. What if nobody liked him? What if he's a cop, so he's probably an asshole? Like,
But Bry, just to let everyone know, Bry posted on this Facebook group, why doesn't the wife just get a job? And that's why he moved towns.
yeah, I tailed out of there.
They made Bry leave. Jay, I don't know how you didn't think this would be an amazing bit.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't remember. I don't remember what the other rant was. I think there was a conspiracy.
Should we stay on this one first? The fact that Brian, why are you so angry about her? Them raising money for the family.
The guy also made $300,000 a year.
Made $300,000 a year?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck him. Well, the cops are getting paid $300,000 a year in your town.
Overtime? No, it's a state. He's a state cop.
Okay.
But like, because there's a website you could look up and see, or maybe it was 200. I don't remember, but it was more than like enough. And yeah, there's a website where you can look up and see what they make, and it's so it's like he's getting like, yeah, they don't need the. I mean, yeah, they suffered a loss and they need something, but they don't need $2 million.
Did the town take seriously your suggestion for her to get a job or for her to fuck another cop?
I'm still waiting for a response, my inquiry.
It'd be great if you posted it on the GoFundMe page. Could people stop doing this? She's still got a vagina, and she can get a job.
I mean, she could. You know.
She really could. I mean, like, does she have?
That's
he have kids?
That's what they tell all the people who aren't working: go get a job. So
yeah, like go get a job. You don't need a GoFundMe page. Go get a job. Does he have kids?
Yeah, 2 young kids.
Could they make like Nike sneakers?
I mean, they're not Asian. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's the stereotypical. I think non-Asian kids can make sneakers also.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's allowed.
Jay, would you if you and your wife had kids, Jay, would you allow them to make sneakers?
For me?
Well, like you said, would you allow them to like work in a
yeah.
factory and make sneakers at a young age of 8?
I think I'm going to pass on that one. Mr. C sent in an article. A New Jersey man flew to Florida to attack another player over an online gaming dispute.
You really are moving on from the from Jay Bry's rant to cover anything else?
Well, Jay's going to tell the story of why he beat up a guy in Florida.
Wasn't me, I swear.
Jay, let me ask you: do you think this woman's family deserved all this money and all this hoopla, or are they making too big of a deal?
You want to hear a weird story?
Yes.
You guys probably don't follow golf.
Nope.
So there
Oh,
was
the guy that got arrested?
yeah, no, not about, well, sort of about that. No, there was the PGA golf tournament was in Connecticut last week, and when the leaders were on the 18th hole on Sunday at the last hole, these like 5 guys like ran out on the green and like threw spray paint and all this shit, and they got beat up by the cops and they got thrown out and everything, and initially they didn't really say like what it was, so you just assumed it was Israel Gaza protests or whatever. It turned out they were protesting climate change. I don't know what had to do with climate change or whatever.
Yeah,
So
the climate change protesters love the spray paint.
Yeah, I don't know.
They spray painted like
paint
Stonehenge. They spray painted Stonehenge like last week.
I saw that.
Isn't spray paint bad for the environment?
Apparently, this
Yeah.
is a special spray paint that will wash off.
It was like a
No, not the paint.
thing.
The aerosols they use when you spray it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, these people are idiots. So yeah, I'm sure it's bad.
So anyway, so I texted my buddies at work and I just said, I know what you're thinking, but it wasn't me that ran onto the green, you know? So I come into work Monday and one of the guy goes, oh, that wasn't you protesting the thing? And I don't know what made me say this. And I was like, no, the only cause I believe in is trying to free Julian Assange. And I don't even know where that came from in my head.
Wow.
And then literally the next day he got freed.
That is pretty random.
I don't even know how I couldn't even think of his name as I was saying it. I meant to say Snowden, but I said Julian Assange. And then the next day he's like, "Well, whatever you did, it worked." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Oh, Julian Assange just got released from jail."
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Kind of a weird story.
I don't. Also, the Assange thing. Are we supposed to celebrate that he's freed, or was it like? I'm not really sure. Like, it wasn't like a.
I don't know. Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
I don't know. His big thing was like, "Hey, someone stole a ton of government information, and I just released it." Probably
But
did
then,
deserve to do some prison time. I don't think we should be like encourage people to steal government information.
but then didn't he rape a couple of people too?
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't that why he was in jail in England
I think he was accused of that. Yeah.
or whatever?
I don't know if that was like.
I don't know.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
But did Assange's family get a big hoopla in your town?
Not yet. No.
Did you make a competing GoFundMe for the black families, the black officers that got killed?
No, I don't want to get involved. I like to just stay on the outs. Just,
I'd love to see Brian at the funeral just protesting. What, do black blue lives not matter?
only white blue lives.
I see how it is.
Yeah.
I guess this guy's black kids are just gonna be screwed, huh? They not gonna be able to afford anything.
What else we got, Jay?
Trey writes, would you ever trust having
What's that story from Mr. C?
Oh, so that was a New Jersey man flew to Florida to attack another player over an online gaming dispute. So
yeah.
They got into an argument playing Archmage, and the guy from Jersey said he was going to go over his friend's house to play video games, but instead he flew to Florida and then took a 35-mile Uber to a hardware store to buy a hammer, and then went to the guy's place and beat him with a hammer to death. So
Cool.
I don't know how he found him. Like, usually I just get called names online and then I have no idea how to find these people. But
Do people often call names when they play on these stupid things?
I mean, honestly, like, I don't play with I mute most people when I play. But a lot of times when I play online, I play with friends, so I'm only hearing like my friends. I don't play with strangers a lot.
I mean, obviously a lot of people do play with strangers. Should the FBI be monitoring this? And if you like start cursing and sound that's weird, maybe the FBI should just come and I don't know, like just follow you from there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Decent chance you'll be able to like commit crimes elsewhere.
Imagine like that's just like it's one thing if the guy lived across the town from you and you're pissed and you're just gonna go across town and just beat the shit out of him and kill him. But like the premeditation that's involved, like that's
Yeah, the
that's
guy didn't
now
calm
your-
down the entire flight to Florida.
That's now like his life, like that's his life. Like that he's gonna be known as that guy, and B, he's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life.
Well, actually,
because,
no,
like,
I wrote he didn't actually die, but the guy had like massive head wounds.
but like was
On
it
the-
worth it?
When you go to the airport, are they like, oh, personal or business? Waking up in Florida, personal or business? A little bit of both, actually.
Vengeance.
Vengeance. Oh, another person going to Florida for vengeance. That's the
like, I
eighth
think
person
about-
today.
I think about that at times. Like, there's sometimes I just want to kill someone. Like, really, like in my head, I really like will plan it out, and I'm like, is it worth the fallout? And then I just like no, and I'm too lazy to do it.
Is that you
What if
every
you-
day at work? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Do your coworkers know how close they are to getting massacred on a
That's-
daily basis?
But like, I mean, just to be like, you got to sit on a 4-hour flight, a half-an-hour Uber ride. You got to go into the hardware store. I mean,
What
you're
if-
staring at some old guy at Ace Hardware who's like, "Oh, nice, that's a good hammer for, what are you building, son? You building a deck on your house?" No, I'm just gonna beat a man senseless because he called me a fag or something.
What I
what
would
do you-
love. That's what the article's missing. What the guy said to him, because
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
what if you
could
get there?
Possibly.
Did he call him? Did he call him a leftist?
What if you get there? You fly 3.5, 4 hours down there, take the 35-minute Uber ride. You get there, and someone else is beating you to the punch. Like a guy only had a 40-minute drive, already beat him half to death.
There's
Like,
just a
mother-
line at his front door of people he pissed off
Wait,
online.
what if the guy opens the door and he's like a Down syndrome guy? Like, are you still
You're
gonna
like,
do it? Like,
Shit,
what? He's
my
missing
flight
a
home.
leg.
My flight home is not till Monday night. I've got the whole weekend here in Florida, and I came here to murder, and I can't even do that now.
When you get down there and it's like a bubble boy, you're like, I came all the way. He's already suffering. Like, what am I doing here?
What do you think he booked for the rest of his time there? He's like,
Did he?
okay, I'm gonna attempt murder. Then maybe I'll go to Disney World. I never went to Disney World as a kid. I'll check it out. Like, what else did he have planned?
Well, I mean, he was
Did he-
clearly living with his mom because he told his mom he was going to go to his friend's house. So he probably had to have a return flight the very same day.
I don't know if you. So this guy sounds like. How old was the guy? Did they explain?
No.
Okay, I'm assuming if you're like you're 25, 30 years old, you're living home with your mom, playing video games all day, and you're like, Mom, I'm gonna go to my friend's house. Your mom's like, cool. When you leave, like the mom just kills herself.
Here's a question I want to know. After he beat the guy, did he go onto his system and like send himself a message from the guy's thing being like, "I was wrong. You're not an asshole." Just so it's like multiple personality type. Like, oh, he apologized. Okay, cool.
See, like, look at the message. Look, the guy replied after I murdered him that I'm not a fag.
Yeah.
Saying
I was wrong. You were right.
you're right. Or maybe he goes on as him and plays other people, but
Yeah.
pretends to be like this, hey, I'm a wimp. I suck at these games.
Yeah.
Just to like have his impersonate him.
Or maybe
Well,
he just talks
would
shit
be
and
even
gives out
better.
his address.
If he didn't have to be home for dinner with his mom, like he could take over the guy's identity and just like live in the guy's house, play the game, talk shit to people, have other people want to come fly down to beat the shit out of him, and then he just attacks him with a hammer, and it just becomes like a Dexter type thing. He's just stacking bodies in this random guy's house that he killed.
Either that or
also-
while the guy's unconscious, he talks shit online, gives out the guy's address, and then leaves before the people
Yeah.
show up.
Brian's also like, yeah, I know a guy flew from Florida to beat him to death with a hammer, but come on, we don't need to do a GoFundMe for this guy. He can get a job. He can fuck a cop. Also, there are gay cops.
Did he return the hammer when he was done?
It's like dripping wet. He's like, I don't need this. I'd like a refund.
Hardware store's like, it seems to be covered with a lot of blood.
Yeah, I hit my thumb. Sorry.
Thank you for returning evidence from a crime.
I accidentally put my thumb in front of the hammer. Sorry.
So, by the way, these are the kind of people that probably watch Alex Jones. Where you like, if you're dumb enough to do this, you're probably dumb enough to believe Alex Jones or anything else.
So Trey writes, would you ever trust having a robot butler? And I'm going to let Mark take this one because he's the most likely to have a robot butler.
If he doesn't already.
Yeah.
You guys don't have a robot butler already? I
So-
thought we asked this. I thought we did this already on the show.
We've been joking about
Okay.
you having a robot butler for years.
I've been no. I think I asked you guys last week or the week before about whether what would you think about that? Would I? Yeah, why not? I don't know. It'd be kind of creepy. I guess I wouldn't be the first person on the block to have a robot butler. It has to be something where it's kind of pretty mainstream at this point.
Okay, we had a Facebook question too.
You guys aren't going to talk about the robot butler idea? Just let it go. Just let
Yeah. But you're the only one that would have one.
You guys aren't gonna maybe Brian, what if you inherit one? Long lost uncle dies and he's like, Brian, I'm gonna leave you.
I'll
my
tell you.
robot
I'll
butler."
tell you what you could do. I will accept having a robot butler if you start a GoFundMe page for one.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page for the cop that no one seems to care about from your town.
No. Start a GoFundMe page for me to get
I'm
a
gonna
robot
tag
butler.
you in it and tell you I've been inspired by Bri, because this guy does, unlike the other guy, this guy doesn't have a wife who could just go get a job.
We got to wait for like Bry's great aunt to die and then start a GoFundMe for that and to afford a robot butler for the funeral.
Jay, would you get a robot butler?
I don't know. I didn't even want an Alexa in my house, so I don't know if I'd trust a robot butler.
We talked about this. We did talk about this, and then Jay seemed willing to do a robot butler if she could be hot and Asian.
Well, maybe, yeah.
I mean, everyone has their limits.
Is that really a butler at that point, though?
Yeah.
Kat comes home. She's like, Jay, are you fucking the robot again? She has a name.
It's Olivia. Okay, Facebook?
Sure.
Do you have the Facebook up, Mark? Or
Oh, I will bring it up now. I would
Mark's
I
still
already
looking
have
for
it
that
up to
for the
have my
story.
robot butler, but I have no robot butler to bring it up. Okay, so bottom 5 movies from Patrick. Thank you, Patrick.
Bottom 5 movies.
Bottom 5 is the movie that was I forget the name of it, but it's about a guy who plays video games and flies to Florida and murders a guy with a hammer. I didn't like that movie.
So I'm not gonna go with like purposely bad movies.
I assume the point is that movies that like are mainstream enough you just don't like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick like Lava Lantula or Velocipaster or like Lamageddon.
Whatever those are.
Those are all real movies, by the way.
Are they? Are they?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
I went into a deep rabbit hole of bad movies on Amazon a couple weeks ago.
I think we talked about this, didn't we?
Maybe. But you wouldn't believe how many bad movies there are like that.
But we talked about it at game night with Martin. I remember you guys were talking about bad movies.
Right. Yeah. No, that was
long time ago.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the movie. It's the Quentin Tarantino movie with Brad Pitt about the Nazis.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards. That was probably one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever seen.
Okay.
I didn't mind that one.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one either. I didn't think it was bad.
I didn't think it was great, but yeah.
I got one. Birdman.
I have not seen Birdman. I think I haven't seen it based on your review.
It is. Really,
I saw it, but I don't remember it.
It's terrible. It was like it's up for like best picture. It was one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen. It was like this movie where like it's just like a movie like every. It's the best way to. It's one of these movies where it thinks it's like a really great movie the whole time. Like it presents itself as some really great movie, but nothing really happens, and you're like, what am I watching? There's almost no story here.
I think the reason people liked it is because they did it in one. It looked like it was done in one shot.
Yeah, how about have 2 shots and have a story? Make the movie even mildly compelling, but and add a second camera.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Donnie Darko.
I love Donnie Darko.
Never saw
that movie.
It was just him like walking around all mopey, and then there's a rabbit, and then a house falls. Like it makes no sense. It was terrible.
I really like the movie a lot.
Oh, I thought it was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
I'm gonna try to pick movies that Jay likes now.
Go for it.
My second choice would be The Shape of Water, as we've noted several times on this show.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you did a review in the show. Yeah,
Yes.
that sounds like a terrible movie. And
It's a
I didn't see it
dreadful
based
movie.
on the- Jay, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. I don't even know.
Just pick a movie, Jay.
You know what would be a good thing a good top 5 to do would be top 5 most disappointing movies.
Yeah, maybe we could do that next time.
Like half of all Batman movies. Jay,
Maybe.
what's a movie you like?
Very Bad Things.
Let's pick another one.
Big Lebowski.
Let's pick another one.
You're just gonna list all my favorite movies. Now?
I don't know. I want to rant on one, but I really like those 2 movies.
Fight Club.
Okay, well, I forget it.
Maybe I have a good taste in movies. Maybe you just
I
like
don't
a
know if
shitty
you do,
movie.
but you don't like Donnie Darko, so
Oh, it's terrible.
okay, go on. Pick your next bad one. I don't have a lot of movies I really hate.
Oh well, I
could keep going.
Yeah, Brian, I can handle this.
Okay, go. I'll see if anything comes to me.
Fifth Element.
A lot of people like that. I didn't see that, but a lot of people like that movie.
I've tried a few times, but Chris Tucker just completely takes me out of it.
Okay.
You haven't seen
What
it,
else?
so you don't have much to say. But
I mean, I feel like also I don't focus on the movies I hate. Brian, what else do you hate?
Shit, I just had one and now I lost it. I will go with let's see. I go to the Best Picture movie marathon, so I watch all the Oscar nominated movies, and half of them are terrible. That's where all these, because I don't actively go see half of these. The Phantom Thread was terrible.
I never even heard of that.
What's it about?
It was up for an Oscar. It was what's his name? The guy that played Lincoln. What's his name?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis, and
That's funny because my next movie is a Daniel Day-Lewis movie.
yeah,
You talking about the gangster, the movie?
Gangs in New York. No, that one was pretty good. There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think, but you okay? What's the other one?
I never saw
I
it.
didn't see that. I didn't see that one either. but I've heard that's overrated.
I just thought it was the slowest moving movie. I mean, there's a scene where he walks from like the right of the screen to the left, and it's like minutes. And I know they're supposed to show you that things are far away, but I get it, and I don't need to see the whole walk. And it's like a 3-hour movie. They could have made it like 35 minutes.
I got one. I don't hate this movie. I think this movie's fine, but I think it's just overrated. Maybe overrated is a better category, but No Country for Old Men.
See, I like that one.
I never saw it.
I thought it's like okay. I don't know what people are talking about this amazing movie. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it, but I thought it was
The
decent.
guy shoots. She uses that air compressor thing to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Flips a coin. Great. Hey, Coen Brothers have done better work.
Okay, you got one, Bri?
I forgot the next one I was gonna do. I'm trying to think what it was now.
All right.
This is a good episode tonight.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can keep going.
Quality stuff. I'm gonna.
I mean, I could do a million overrated, but I can't think of one of the worst.
Go switch to overrated then. I don't care.
I'm gonna do two superhero movies because I couldn't decide which one.
Okay. Has anyone seen these movies?
I mean, DC and Marvel movies. I'm sure people saw them. Wonder Woman
Okay.
84 and Eternals. I thought they were both like really, really bad.
But didn't they both get like really bad reviews also?
They did, but they were major like blockbuster movies that were supposed to do well. So
Yeah. I mean, I think overrated is a better category. Because like
I've
Jason
probably
picked
never
movies
seen
that
a
got
Marvel
terrible
movie.
reviews and go like, yeah, I agree with the critics.
well, my first three got
I
good
think the
reviews.
I think the Dark Knight is one of the most overrated movies of all time.
It's a better take at least. Yeah. Which why I like you didn't the first one or the second one?
Second one.
The one with Heath Ledger.
Dark Knight
think it's
Rises was the first one.
Okay, you didn't like that, bro?
No, Dark Knight Rises is the last one. I never saw that. That's the one with what's his name? I never saw
Yeah,
that one.
that's right. That's Batman
Bane.
Begins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dark Knight
I
Rises.
like
didn't
Batman
like.
Begins.
Yeah,
You
Batman
like
Begins
Heath-
was I thought the best one of that trilogy.
Yeah.
So I think I agree. I disagree. I think the second one was the best one.
Okay. I mean, most
thought the
people
Heath Ledger
do.
one was the best one.
Most people think the Heath
It was-
Ledger one is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great. It was two. It should have been two movies. They
Yes.
wasted the whole Two-Face part.
Yes.
Like,
if they took out all the
introduced him for,
Two-Face
like, 2
scenes, it
minutes
would
and
have
he was
been a
dead.
great
Like
movie.
it could have been its own movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like when they have a second bad guy. Like even the first one, they had Scarecrow and who was else? They had another bad guy in the first one.
It was like a weird name, like Farum Azul or
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like concentrate on only one bad. You should only have one hero and one. I know. I guess the Marvel movies have a lot of heroes, but I generally like develop one hero, develop one bad guy. It makes it a much better movie for development.
yeah. No, whenever they try and cram a
Character.
second bad guy in, it always feels too like Spider-Man 3 where they had Venom and Sandman. Like you didn't need both of them in there.
Right. One bad guy could be pretty awesome. Like Joker was freaking awesome. You didn't need a second bad guy in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I thought the movie would have been amazing if they just split up the Two-Face storyline.
Yeah, I think they also a little bit at the end where they're like the hero that we need versus the hero like they get a little like a little bit of philosophy at the end, which I thought was just stupid. Also, it's a fucking hero movie.
The third one had like the worst ending.
The third one wasn't that good.
I didn't like it.
I didn't see it.
But
Like, hey, Bane, remember that villain that no one remembers? Let's use him.
well, also it was like at the end, the cop who is secretly Robin. The big reveal at the end is he checks into a hotel and uses the name Robin, and it's like if he used like Dick Grayson and you had to like think about it and you're like, okay, that's Robin, that's one thing, but he's not going to be like that's like Batman going to a hotel and checking in as Batman. Like it's so stupid. Oh, I hated that.
That's pretty funny.
No one
All right.
will believe it's me.
Yeah.
He'll never. What name? Oh, you just I want to. I'm under Batman.
Yeah.
Are you Batman? How'd you know?
Is that a first or a last name?
Now I have to kill you. You know my secret identity.
You forgot my secret identity.
So dumb.
Yeah, it's not really. Also, it's not much of a reveal when you're like, "Oh wow, you guys are setting up a sequel. Great, cool."
But the thing is, that was the end of the trilogy, so there was no other movie. So they had this big secret reveal of Robin, and the trilogy ended, and so that was it.
The Joker movie. I guess they're having another one. the Joker movie came out like 5 years ago, but they're having another one.
Yeah.
But the Joker movie ends where like the movie almost like the end of the Joker movie feels like the movie just began. I mean, forgetting all the story, like he's finally the Joker. You're like, okay, what's gonna happen? And they're like, roll the credits. We'll make another movie in 5 years.
Well, this one's going to be a musical.
And the new, yeah, musical, yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
You didn't hear that? Yeah, Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn, and it's going to be a musical.
The new Joker is gonna be a musical?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that feels like a criminal act. That feels like they could just arrest this person for doing that.
I'm not even going to give them the streaming view on that one. It just
That sounds. I mean, the first one wasn't amazing. Also, they made too big of a deal about that one, but like, it was interesting. What?
I liked it.
Have you ever watched a superhero movie and go, "Hey, you know what would make this movie better? Singing." What part of your life, outside of being at a concert, what has singing made anything better?
You know how we had that actress that was the perfect Harley Quinn? Let's replace her with Lady Gaga.
Do you guys remember there was a show by Stephen Bochco called Cop Rock?
Cop Rock,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never watched it, but I remember it.
For those that don't know, it was basically a cop show, but they added in music. So basically, like a cop would be arresting you and be like, "I'm arresting you," and just start singing. They break into tunes, and you'd be like, "What the hell am I watching?" And it was like probably mid '80s, and it was considered a giant failure, basically.
Yeah.
For shows.
Yeah. I have no idea how that got greenlit.
What else? Where else could you add music to make it worse?
Dexter?
Dexter would be pretty bad at music.
He just does a song while he's killing people.
They bring back Sopranos, but they do it with like music.
Oh, you know what the answer is?
I'm Italian, and
Oh,
I am
yeah,
running
that's
this-
what my other one was.
What?
My other two, actually. My other two. The Sopranos movie
That was terrible.
There was a Sopranos
terrible.
movie?
and The Irishman.
Irish. Okay, yes.
I didn't know there
Irishman
was a
terrible.
Sopranos movie.
The Sopranos movie was terrible, and the
Oh.
Breaking Bad movie was terrible.
I never saw that.
Was
yeah,
that,
Jay, it was a prequel
Oh, right. I remember seeing a
to
trailer
The
for that.
Sopranos, and James
being like,
Gandolfini's kid played Tony as a kid.
It even had
Yeah.
a good name. What was the name of it? Like the
Something
name,
of New Jersey. Something
Yeah.
Angels of Newark. Something like
yeah,
that.
something like Angel in Newark or something. Something where you're like, oh, this sounds like a cool name. This is going to be awesome. I can't
Yeah,
wait
it was
to
a
see
prequel, and it was like they tried too hard to force all the characters in.
And they forced all like what's going on in civil rights during that time.
Yeah.
It was also, you were watching being like, the whole time you're like, Saints of Newark.
Saints of Newark, yeah.
The whole time you're watching being like, what the fuck is that? When is this? Is this gonna get good? When is it gonna get good? Is this
It was
really
terrible.
this bad?
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable. Because it's also, I didn't realize how. I don't think I saw any reviews saying it's horrible. It may have been one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It was pretty bad.
It was terrible. Irishman, so fucking boring.
Mhm.
Netflix paid him a boatload of money, Scorsese, to basically tell the most boring version of who killed
Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah. 3.5 hours.
And the Breaking Bad movie was, hey, what happened to what's his name? His sidekick after the main guy was killed. He drives his car, he meets some people, has some stuff, and fucking terrible also. All these movies are basically I guess the genre would be cashing in on a name by cashing in on a
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
Sure.
cashing in, I love Christian Slater, but they're making a Dexter prequel, and I feel like Showtime hasn't had another show in like 15 years because Dexter ended, and they're like, "What should we do now? Oh, let's make a Dexter sequel," and then they ended that, and they're like, "What should we do now? Let's make a Dexter prequel." And like, I guess they'll make a spinoff.
We backed ourselves into a corner with Dexter, and then we backed ourselves into a corner with the sequel.
Yeah.
So now I guess we have to do a prequel.
So my cable bill, every once in a while it goes up and goes up. And when it goes up, I call up and you're like, hey, I'm paying too much. Is there anything you guys can do? Any promotions?
Yeah.
And so I did this the other day and they're like, yeah, we can cut $20 for your bill for this. So I was like, oh, great. And they're like, also, we'll give you 6 free months of Showtime. I was like, do I have to pay at the end? They're like, no, we'll cut it off. You don't have to it doesn't renew automatically. I'm like, great. I'll take the Showtime. Turn it on. I'm like, okay, what am I going to watch on Showtime? I guess I'm not going to watch this for the next 6 months.
I got the same 2 weeks ago. I did the same thing. I got my bill lowered. They gave me Showtime, and I haven't watched a single second of it. There's
I
just
have no
nothing.
idea what to watch. If anyone's listening to our show at all, if you've watched Showtime and it's another show not named Dexter, let me know if it's worth watching. I have 6 months to watch stuff, and I have no idea. Nothing looks good on there.
I've always had Showtime. I had Showtime like when I was a kid. We never had HBO. We only got HBO because like we tried to upgrade our cable and like the box didn't work, so they gave us free HBO for like a year or something, and that's how I ended up with that. But Showtime, I mean, you can watch the first 2 seasons of Californication are really good.
Californication, I've watched that. So Californication is really good, and Weeds is really good.
I never watched Weeds. Billions is the first season's really good, and then it's sort of hit or miss after that.
Yeah.
I think I like the first 3 seasons of Californication. Then it gets really, really bad.
Yeah, it gets bad. But so there are some shows on Showtime that are.
I know
good,
the first 2 were really good.
Yeah,
and
but we just
third
named.
one was the third one when he was a teacher.
I don't remember what happened. I just remember like the 4th season. There's an entire episode of like the whole cast like having dinner, and they're just talking, and there's like no plot, and it seems like there was no script.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, they're out of it.
So yeah, there's a couple shows on Showtime I watched before, but I was like, is there anything new on Showtime? Anything I haven't watched? And I was like,
we haven't named one show from the last 15 years.
yeah, nothing's like recent.
I mean, I used recently, like in the past, well, it just ended, but it's been on for like 8 years, The Circus, but it's dated now because it's like, it was like it's sort of like Last Week Tonight. It was on every Sunday night where they would recap the week in politics, and they would be like, the 4 or 5 people who were on the show would be like out somewhere, in whatever was going on, and then recap it and everything. So it was like topical at the time, but watching it now would probably just be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't see that being good. I never watched that. I heard it was okay.
I'm trying to think what the hell else was on. Without looking it up, I'm trying to think what else was on Showtime.
I'm like, I guess I'm not really going to use this 6 months of Showtime.
Yeah.
Californication, I watched. Dexter, I watched. Billions.
It'd be great if they kept stats on this, and they're like, how many people they gave 6 months of Showtime to, and how many people actually watched a minute of Showtime.
And how many
I think
people?
Homeland was good, but I never watched it.
Oh, I watched a little of that. That was decent. That was worth watching.
But that's on Hulu, so.
Oh, is that on Hulu?
Yeah.
I guess there's more than Showtime than I remember, but nothing new. Nothing I'm going to watch in the next 6 months, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe Showtime, as part of your promotion and giving everyone 6 months of Showtime, you could put anything at all on there that people want to watch.
I wonder if anybody has gotten the 6 free months and then said, this is awesome, I want to now pay for this.
Is anyone paying for Cinemax? Or like Stars?
Well, I guess Ray Donovan was good. I never watched it though.
I think Stars Stars is expensive.
But what does Stars have? I don't understand what you're getting for Stars.
If you want a good miniseries, Escape at Dannemora was really good on Showtime.
Okay, Showtime. I apologize, Showtime. There are some good shows. I watched that also. You're right. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah, Jay, we have some recommendations for you actually on this. Now, I watched that one. That was about the prisoners upstate who escaped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good.
Now I have to.
Jay, you know how I listened to Howard Stern from 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I was the recent news story they were covering were the prisoners who escaped upstate New York, and I was like, I've been listening so long that not only has this news story happened, but Showtime made a miniseries about it that I watched about this story.
All right. You got anything else?
I don't think we had anything to begin with, apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
Jay, you got anything, Jay? Are we finishing our overrated movies?
I mean, I have a lot of like comedies.
Give me your other overrated movies. Finish your movie list. Don't save this for a future episode.
I had a lot of comedies on there.
Give us your comedies, Jay.
Hangover 3, Paul Blart, Year One, Legally Blonde.
So Jay, you just picked poorly reviewed comedies.
Are you literally reading a list?
I mean, I write notes for the show.
Oh.
Do you really write shows? It seems like.
But we just came up with this idea.
No, I saw the question come in and I wrote the list.
I mean, Legally Blonde. I don't know if you were the target audience for that one.
I also messaged both of you guys that we got this as a question.
Well, yeah, you messaged me about bottom, but not underrated or overrated.
Oh no, I'm still doing my bottom list.
Jay's gonna submit it to the Academy later.
I'm doing the list as it was asked, not how Mark changed it halfway through.
I want to do overrated, underrated stand-up comics one day.
Haven't we done that every time you've been on the show?
I don't know. I'm only on a show like once every 2 years. I'm like leap
Fine,
year.
go right now. Overrated.
I'm like leap year.
Overrated comedians. Do it before we're done. Do it.
I don't have the list in front of me.
Oh, just come up with the top of your head.
This is a train wreck.
Overrated comedians.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
I think he's pretty funny, but a little bit overrated. Yeah.
His anger
Dave
feels
Chappelle.
forced to me.
Who?
Sebastian,
Jay?
his anger feels forced to me.
It's a little forced. I mean, it's forced for the bits, but he's pretty funny. Who else you got, Bri?
You know who I absolutely can't stand?
No.
Bert Kreischer.
Very bad.
They made fun of him. They ripped him in the roast of Tom.
I mean, the
Brady.
guy stole my shtick. You're fat and you take your shirt off. I mean, jeez, I've been doing that for years.
Yeah,
What's-
Bert
who's
Kreischer was the second worst in the Tom Brady roast.
What's her name? The one that killed the woman on the
Nikki
on it? That was-
Glazer.
Nikki Glazer.
Nikki Glazer was pretty funny. She ripped him. She was just like, "Oh, you take your shirt off. How funny is that? Wow, what a funny bit."
She's only funny if she talks about sex. If she's not talking about sex, she's completely boring and uninteresting.
But that's literally her entire act.
No, I know.
Like, so I don't know. She's pretty funny. She's good on the roast. She's really good on the roast.
Yeah, I didn't see. I saw the clips, but
I gotta say, a female comedians, I think she might be the best roaster. I can't think of another one that's better.
Yeah, she's really good.
another female one.
Yeah. Obviously, there are men that are better, but no offense.
What's her name? She doesn't do it anymore.
Lisa Lampanelli.
Yeah, Lampanelli. Yeah.
She's not bad, also, but
Yeah.
Nikki Glazer's hers hit pretty hard.
Sarah
Who are the best?
Tiana's really good too.
What was
Who?
she on?
Sarah Tiana. There was a show called Roast Battle where they had comedians go head to head and roast each other, and she was really good. And I saw her name under the written by credits for the Tom Brady roast.
Oh, okay.
So I guess she's writing roasts.
Who's the greatest roaster in the of all time? Who's the greatest roaster? And the answer is Greg Giraldo. But go.
Don Rickles.
It's Greg
No,
Giraldo.
Greg Giraldo.
Yeah, it's Greg Giraldo.
It's Giraldo.
But you know
No
who's
hands down.
who's really underrated? Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who?
Apparently he's really popular, but I never heard of him.
He was
Who
in
is
the
that?
he was in the Tom Brady roast.
Rushed
In
Tom
hour
Brady roast.
3 of the Tom Brady roast.
It's really long. Yeah,
I
He
watched
starts
it
off-
like in half-hour segments for like a week.
He starts off. He's like interviewing people in the audience, like doing a little doing some jokes. You're like, who is this guy? Like this bit kind of sucks. And then he just starts ripping everyone in the room, and it's kind of amazing.
He did.
I don't know who he is. Never heard of him.
Yeah, he did a Snoop Dogg roast that was really funny too.
Him
What's his
and
name?
Tony
Tony
Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe.
But I recognize. Is he recognizable?
No,
Apparently he has is it a podcast called Blame Tony or?
I don't know. Everybody's got a podcast.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, I think it's actually really popular, even though I'd never heard of it.
He looks like the guy you were describing earlier, the stalker.
Yeah, it actually was him.
If you told me that was him, I would be like,
Show full circle.
Yeah.
Who are underrated comedians, Brian? You brought this up. Who are the underrated comedians? I'll give you guys one underrated comedian I've been listening to lately. Louis Katz.
Chad Daniels.
I've listened to he's funny.
Chad Daniels is very good. Yeah.
You got any underrated comedians?
Mine was Tony Hinchcliffe.
Okay.
I mean, he's every clip he has like specials and stuff on YouTube, and they're all like really funny.
Is it him doing roasts or him doing stand up?
He has one stand up which I haven't watched it. He said it wasn't very good. It was like from 2016, I think, and he said I saw an interview and he's like, yeah, I keep getting close to getting stuff and then not getting it. And
Kill Tony is his thing. Yeah.
You know who I don't know if he's underrated, overrated. He's probably rated just perfectly, but I really like is Todd Barry.
Todd Barry's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's good.
I think he's probably underrated because you don't really hear about him.
I like him a lot.
He's been around for
Yeah, I
like
think-
40 years, and most people probably
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, I know.
I feel like he's someone you have to be pretty into stand up to know of.
He's at the
Yeah.
Comedy Cellar like every other time I go. And
He's pretty funny.
He's good
I
every
think he's
time,
good.
but yeah.
This guy, another one I keep seeing is this guy Brian Holtzman.
I
Don't
don't
know.
know him.
I guess he's like a regular at Joe Rogan's place in Texas now. He was on that. Oh, Showtime, the Comedy Store special. That was good. They had a documentary about it, and he's in that actually because he was like the closer for years at the comedy club, and he's just a maniac.
All right. I think that's about it. If you are in the room,
Waiting for the next. Stay tuned.
yeah, we'll be
We're waiting
back.
for the next and something that you actually want to hear. We're doing that soon.
Yeah,
right?
we'll be back in about 10 minutes and do the Knicks podcast.
What time does the draft start?
It starts, well, they say 8, which means
Okay.
by the time we're done with the Knicks podcast at 9, they'll be on like pick 5.
Did you? I probably may should say this for the next show. Never mind. I was going to say Bill Simmons was talking about it, but we can talk about it.
Kidnapping Bronny. Kidnapping
Is Bronny
Bronny.
going to be drafted? He's not going to be drafted, right?
He's going to be drafted late in the second round.
Is LeBron going to personally draft him, or is it going to be like they're going to pretend like LeBron's not in charge?
Which will be
Yeah,
like,
Bill Simmons said that the Celtics should draft Bronny and kidnap him because they have so many picks and they don't need him just to piss off the Lakers.
I mean, it would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they had some other team drafted him and then forced the Lakers to give up real assets to get him.
But we'll give you Bronny for LeBron.
Like Anthony Davis is like, I'm really being traded for Bronny. LeBron, he's in charge.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back soon. Next week. Yeah.
Or in like what time do you want to come back?
Oh, I'm in for the brink of sanity. We'll be back. We'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
back next week.
Yeah. Well, I can do Sunday or Monday night, or Monday night basically.
Okay.
Monday.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back soon.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say